Hey guys, what's going on? So today I am 2 weeks post-op on my top surgery, and I kind of want to make this video to one, show you guys some things that I think if you're gonna have top surgery anytime soon were really helpful to me, and I don't think a lot of people recommend these kind of things. You know, they're kind of things that are not really talked about, and also just kind of update you on my healing process and how it's been for me. So it might be a little bit longer video, but I hope it's somewhat helpful to anyone out there. So starting off, I just want to talk about the fact of some things that were really helpful for me that no one really talked about when I was looking for information and stuff. So for the first week after I got my drains removed and I can see my chest, and then I had to use the ace bandage and all this stuff, because that's the reality. It's like after your chest reveal, everything's so raw and your nipple still has to basically heal with your chest, that like if you're having double incision, that you have to wear this ace bandage for like a month probably, depending on how fast you heal and stuff like that, a month afterwards. So there is a process. I actually wasn't aware of like how serious the process was, but for me what was happening is, for after I got my chest reveal and I had to do the process myself, well, my mom helped me. So the process, usually it's like I'll put on Neosporin on my nipples, and I'll just kind of like softly, gently just place it on top, not really rubbing anything. And then I'll put a gauze pad on top of that, right? And then I have this other little soft bandage I put over just to cover kind of my incisions. And then I actually do the ace bandage and I wrap that around. So it's a process, and it, you know, at first it was taking much longer. Now I kind of do it really fast with my mom, like for like in and out kind of deal. But my initial problem was that this gauze pads, and I tried several different brands and kinds. I tried non-stick gauze pads, regular gauze pads. They were all sticking to my nipple because of the Neosporin. It was just like after a couple hours it would just stick. So every time I would take the gauze pad out, it would pull, it would literally take out a piece of the scab that was on my nipple. And you're gonna see that my nipples are actually missing large pieces of the scabs, either because they fell out like naturally, but also because of the damn gauze pad, like every time. So I had to have like cottons, a little bit of cotton with wet water, and kind of like just dab it and hope that that kind of alleviated some of the stick between. But it was just very like tedious and very actually horrifying and frustrating to watch, because it was like, oh my god, like, you know, this is an open wound and I'm opening the scab and I'm taking out the scabbing every time I'm taking out my gauze pads, which is 2 times a day. So that was really scary, and this is what no one recommended to me. These are adaptic, non-adhering dressings, and so this, I've been using this for the last couple of days, and it's been so helpful. If there's anything on that damn surgery list besides bendy straws or whatever the fuck, you get these are non-adhering dressing pads, and you put this as a barrier between the gauze pad and your nipple, and these will not stick. They stick a little bit, but nowhere near as much as they will stick on a gauze pad. And they're a little expensive, but worth every little single penny like of inflation that you're paying for this. Like seriously, this will help you heal much faster your nipple, and like prevent any of that scabbing to come off if it's not ready. So if anything you're getting from this video, non-adhering adaptive dressings, like this literally saved my nipples. Also, some other things I would recommend is, you know, if you're gonna use this like medical tape and stuff, I don't know if you can see, but this makes, I still have some of, even of like the residue of this. This makes your skin really irritated. So get some kind of oil. This looks disgusting just because it's nasty, but get some kind of oil or some lotion or something to place. This is jojoba oil. I 100% recommend this. I used to use this to stretch my ears. I don't have them anymore, obviously, but it's so good for the skin, and you just kind of rub it on top, and not on your incisions or anywhere, but like just kind of on top, and it just like does your body and your skin wonders. Also, neck pillow, you know, this saved my like sleeping pattern and like my comfort for the entire 2 weeks so far. I don't take this off. If I like literally I went to my friend's house and I took this with me, like this is my #1 pillow. I bought a bunch of different pillows, and this is the main guy right here. It was like 20 bucks at like Bed Bath and Beyond. And one more thing, the painkillers they give you after that you're gonna be taking for the first 2 days, they're gonna make you constipated, and because you're gonna be constipated, you're gonna have to take like constipation meds, so you can get your bowels moving and all this shit. So that in itself is really bad for your stomach, and it kind of fucks up your digestion system. And after the first days after stopping using those pills in order to be able to use the bathroom, it kind of like ruined my whole digestion flow and stuff like that. So honestly, if you want to self-medicate, you can do that. And when I say that, I'm just talking about like weed. So you obviously can't smoke. I haven't smoked. I didn't smoke 2 weeks prior, and I haven't smoked since. But I bought myself yesterday this. It's just a dry herb vape. These are pretty expensive. This is like $100, but it's really good. I just definitely recommend vapes in general. So if you are someone that like feels like you really need to smoke, or you're just like an average user or whatever, that's something you might want to look into that not a lot of people have talked about. But it's definitely like an option, self-medication, dry herbs and stuff like that. Just the mere act of smoking is obviously thins your blood vessels and is bad for your nipples and all this stuff. But if you want to use an alternative like a vaporizer, that's definitely like a good substitute in my opinion. So now I just want to a little bit talk about and show you guys my actual chest, because if it's like all talk no action, so let me lower the tripod. But so you can see my nipple, it's missing a lot of the scabbing. Some of it it's come out on its own naturally, and then some of it it's just literally been pulled out from the damn gauze pad. So initially I was really worried. I'm like, oh my god, they're pink, they're an open wound, I'm not white, my nipples are not supposed to be pink, where's the brown and all the stuff. But I've been doing some research and reading that it takes obviously the color some time to come back, depending on like the person. Um, these are my incisions, as you can see. I don't know what this is right now. I think I put lotion a little too high and it just dried up right there. But I don't know. They're fairly thin right now, obviously. This drain hole was huge. I put Neosporin on my drain holes. I don't know if I should, but I have. And it's actually, I think, been helping. This thing was huge. It was like popping out. It was really scary, actually. And this side is a little bit better. There's still obviously some dry blood, and not all of my incisions, I don't know if they're staples or sewed in or whatever the hell, but they haven't fallen off yet. So that's why I have all these little wrinkles out here. It's not like that's gonna stay. I do have some swelling over here, and I have a little bit swelling over here. I have a doctor's appointment, or my surgeon appointment, on Tuesday, so he's gonna go over my chest and tell me how it's looking. I think it's healing great. Aside from my nipples obviously being a little wound free, I mean a little, I don't know, kind of ugly looking or whatever the fuck. I think it's healing great. I think in comparison to like a week ago, I'm doing much better if you were to see my scabs and all that stuff. But again, everything with due time. I'm just gonna raise the tripod again because I don't know if you can see me, and I feel just like, I don't know, I feel like whatever, vulnerable. The last thing I kind of want to talk about is how I'm feeling about the surgery itself, and like how I see myself now when I look in the mirror and stuff. It's been honestly so good, like just walking around being shirtless and stuff. Like, I don't know, but there's one thing that I'm really interested in, is that initially going into this, I thought it was gonna be like after surgery, it was gonna be this whole big kind of euphoric moment, like when I wake up or like when I'm home and I just realized like I have a flat chest. And it really wasn't like that for me. Like, obviously I'm so grateful, so content with everything, but it was more like, like this is sort of like how it's always should have been, and it just feels so natural. I don't grieve my chest like some people say they have, and I don't miss it, obviously. It's like kind of like a big, vast, long time memory. Like, I can barely remember like what it's like to have like a bigger chest and stuff like that without surgery. Is that like weird? This was 2 weeks ago, and I've had like, obviously a bigger chest like since puberty, right? But it's so strange. It just feels like this is what it should have always been. And it wasn't like a big like boom, I'm so happy. It was just more like kind of like more like content kind of. It's a very like interesting feeling. I've been trying to explore that and think about that, because I don't know, no one really talked about this to me. So yeah, so that's one big thing that I've noticed. Also, it just feels so good, like to put on a sweater and like to put on anything and not have to worry when you lay down. Sometimes you're always just like really uncomfortable if you had a binder on. It's great, honestly. I'm so content with everything. Like, yesterday I was just thinking about the fact that this was a reality, and I'm just so happy. I don't know, man. It's definitely made life much easier. Not that the recovery and the actual surgery itself is an easy thing to go through. It's very, I don't know, it's draining if anything, but yeah, it's totally worth it. So that's it for this video. I think it's been long enough. If you guys have any questions, suggestions, or anything, please feel free to message me or leave it in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to do it. So thank you for watching, and I hope this was somewhat helpful. Peace.